And we start with the latest on President Trump's second term in office. Tonight, the U.S. is on the brink of a trade war as the president is set to impose steep tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China. The move could drive up prices for Americans and shake up the global economy. Trump signing executive orders to impose 25% tariffs on imports from Canada and Mexico and 10% on goods from China, including a lower 10% tariff on Canadian oil and gas. The new measures go into effect Tuesday. Trump defended his decision, linking trade penalties to drug trafficking and immigration, claims those countries deny.
China makes the fentanyl, gives it to Mexico, puts it through Canada, puts it through different places, mostly Mexico, but also a lot through Canada. And so all three haven't treated us very well.
Mexico and China now vowing to hit back, with Mexico ordering retaliatory tariffs. But the strongest reaction coming from Canada, imposing 25% tariffs affecting $106 billion worth of American goods. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau calling on his citizens to buy Canadian.
It might mean opting for Canadian rye over Kentucky bourbon, or foregoing Florida orange juice altogether.
Trump now claiming that Canada is not a viable country without U.S. support, again arguing that Canada should become the 51st state. The new tariffs imposed by the Trump administration on imports from Canada, Mexico, and China, creating more questions than answers now. Both trading partners and households are starting to raise concerns about the possible impacts. But what does this mean for your bottom line? ABC 10's Garshpal Sangha joins us with a closer look.
Yeah, Luke, and I've spoken with about a dozen Sacramento area businesses, and there's a lot of confusion about what these tariffs will actually do and how big of an impact it will have. And I've also spoken with the UC Davis professor about the uncertainty that the country could be facing.
American households and businesses are bracing to pay higher prices.
It seems like at every turn we have to look at additional costs to run our business, which then results into that $1-2 increase.
ABC News reports economists estimate the average American family could pay up to $1,500 more per year due to the tariffs.
I say uncertainty. It's really on every level.
UC Davis economics professor Katie Russ explains that while Trump's first-term tariffs mainly targeted Chinese imports, these new tariffs are much broader, hitting products from Canada and Mexico, the U.S.'s largest trade partners.
So it's going to be harder for firms to adjust their supply chains to mitigate this increase in costs. And that is going to come out in a higher cost of living.
Professor Russ says the new tariffs did not come as a surprise, but the impacts could likely be one.
What we saw in 2018, 2019, 2020 is that an increase in uncertainty about trade policy can dampen investment activity.
She adds that these new tariffs could disrupt supply chains, create uncertainty in U.S. trade policy, and strain relationships with key allies.
It's hard to tell exactly what all of the motivations might be. What the net effect of all these changes will be is really hard to tell at this point.
Russ says it is not completely known what the president will do with the money generated from these tariffs. While the true long-term impact remains to be seen, Americans could be feeling the pinch sooner rather than later. Luke.
All right, Garshpal, and thank you. Again, the new tariffs expected to begin on Tuesday.